Oh, did you learn some things from being on the road? I mean, watching Chris perform, you know, like.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
All right, what can you share with us?
A lot. Like, I mean, Chris is a very hard worker, very talented.
People think it's so easy, right? They
it's
think
not
just wake up
easy.
and
and
easy.
like, he was doing like, what, 2 hours? Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, he would even watch my show. Like, he'd go in a disguise and come in the audience and watch. And then after, he'll give me advice. He'll be like, okay, you should do this more. And then like, I appreciated that so much because, I mean, imagine that boot camp.
Yeah, that boot camp, right?
The best boot camp I could ever ask for.
The best.
Yeah.
What is your biggest turn on?
Oh man, like dominance, like a dominant.
The internet practically slammed on the brakes when those photos of Chris Brown and Tyla hit the timeline. Feeds froze, comment sections exploded. Everyone wanted to know if this was love, strategy, or something messier hiding in the shadows. This wasn't just two stars standing next to each other. It felt like a spark that slipped out in public, like a private moment caught mid-glow. Before we dive into what really went down, tap like, hit subscribe, and drop a quick comment so you do not miss the next deep dive. From the second those images ricocheted across group chats, you could feel a story heating up. It moved fast, it moved loud, and it carried that dangerous mix of attraction, ambition, and timing that makes the music world feel like a movie that never says cut. Tyla did not stumble into the spotlight. She sprinted. Water turned a bubbling buzz into a tidal wave, sweeping through clubs, bedrooms, and endless loops of short videos where everybody tried to bottle the same cool grace she moves with. Her Grammy was not a fluke. It was confirmation that the sound she carries, sleek and global, stitched from Afrobeats and R&B, belongs at the front of the culture.
New artist was also a new Grammy Award winner, Tyla. Now, Tyla, my whole team loves Tyla, but I think I love her more now that I've actually, because it was her accent and her seduction. She was trying to snatch the gay out of me, but it didn't happen. I got to Tyla and I asked her about these rumors because everybody said that she was dating Chris Brown, and I know that nobody else had the courage to ask her, and I'm Hollywood Unlocked Jason, city council member to be, and I did. Take a look. I'm standing next to a Grammy winner who smells phenomenal.
Oh, yes.
You smell good.
Thank you.
And you look great.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're walking down the carpet and you know everybody's looking at you. How does that feel?
Oh, are they looking?
Yeah,
I didn't even notice.
Okay, everybody's loving you, Tyla. Hollywood Unlocked loves you. My staff, as soon as they saw you, they were like, we have to get Tyla, we have to give Tyla. I love the song. If you do a remix, I don't have any talent. Can I jump on it?
She is 22 but moves with the memory of a veteran, gliding through pressure with that calm smile that says she is hearing everything and feeding only the fuel. Chris, meanwhile, is still Chris, a headline magnet, a choreography machine, a veteran who knows exactly how fast a rumor can outrun a song. So when the industry's newest princess and one of its most polarizing kings were captured shoulder to shoulder, nobody saw coincidence. People saw a fuse. People saw a plot twist walking in on beat. The January birthday party is where whispers turned into volume. It was not just that Chris showed up, it was how he moved once he arrived. The murmur from inside the room said he was not floating through for a quick handshake and a selfie. He stayed. He posted up. He connected. The photos did not scream scandal. They hummed with familiarity. That easy body language you only see when two people are past introductions. Shoulders leaned, heads tilted. Laughter that lands in the chest instead of skimming the surface. The internet read it like a love note written without words.
Beautiful. Are you single?
Very single.
Why is the internet trying to say you with somebody? Is that just now that's
guys.
now that you know you're famous, is because now you're just linked to anybody?
Guys, anyone I'm seen with, I'm dating that person. I don't know why, but I'm very single.
Hashtags trended, edits dropped, whole timelines built theories from a hand around a waist, and the angle of a smile. Some fans crowned them the moment's couple before the cake was even cleared. Others asked if the whole thing was calculated. But even the skeptics reposted, because even skeptics could feel the chemistry. By February, the spotlight was white hot and the carpet was red. Tyla stepped into the Grammys with a glow only first-time winners know. Hollywood Unlocked put the question on the table where everyone could see it. Are you with Chris? Tyla smiled and said she was very single. She said people link her to anyone she stands near. On paper, that registered as a clean denial. In practice, the room tilted. Not because she lied, because she sounded like someone threading a needle between truth and timing. Very single is a phrase that tries to be a period and ends up a comma. It invites interpretation. It asks for silence and creates echo. Body language people and armchair analysts hit slow motion and frame by frame. They decided her shoulders tightened half a breath. They decided her laugh sat high in the throat. They decided she was guarding something delicate. Maybe they were right. Maybe they were reaching. But the feeling stuck. And the feeling is what fandom is built on. Here is where the plot threads braid together. Tyla was not just sharing a red carpet with Chris once. She was booked to tour with him across Europe, a run that turns an opener into a headline in the making city by city. Night after night, repetition becomes transformation. Insiders kept repeating the same detail. Chris did not mentor her from a distance. He watched her set in disguise, slipped notes after, and pushed for tiny adjustments that add up to big leaps. That is not casual. That is care. And care is the currency of closeness. Crew accounts said the vibe backstage felt like longtime friends who skipped the awkward first chapter. Jokes rolled, schedules synced, rituals formed. Not in the performative way some tours pretend for the lens, but in the unphotographed beats that build trust. The warmth did not thunder, it simmered. And the thing about a simmer is that it lasts. The question kept poking through the fabric. Was this a carefully measured mentorship, or something warmer wearing professional clothes? Timeline detectives circled back to the birthday and tried to claim origin. But any working artist will tell you that stories start in studios, in late-night listening sessions, in messages that say pull up and hear this. A veteran clearing a calendar for a rising star's celebration does not read like randomness. It reads like a choice. Maybe it was a choice to support a wave he respects. Maybe it was a choice to stand next to a light he understands. Maybe it was both. Fans built theories with the speed the internet trains into us. Some insisted the pairing was PR gasoline poured on a fresh flame. Others argued the risk-reward math made no sense for either side, and that the better explanation was gravity. Two artists in the same lane, two aesthetics that mirror and elevate, two brands that feel like neighboring planets. Put them side by side and the orbit tightens whether a camera is there or not. The red carpet clip refused to die because it doubled back on itself. Tyla kept her boundaries, yet the edges of that boundary shimmered. She did not offer details. She did not roll her eyes. She did not slam the door. She breathed. She smiled. She tucked the topic away with a grace that sounded like both respect and restraint. Viewers poured their own stories into the pauses. That is the trick of a half answer. It turns the audience into co-writers. Meanwhile, the stage told its own story. Say what you want about Chris. When he locks in, the choreography turns brutal and elastic at the same time. The sets run long. The breath control stays iron. For an opener that is a masterclass you cannot buy. Tyla called it boot camp, and the phrase landed because it contains every layer of what was happening. Discipline, respect, sweat, feedback, and the subtle intimacy that forms between people who chase excellence shoulder to shoulder under hot lights. So why keep everything so quiet? Because the headlines would have eaten them alive. Tyla is a new queen in a moment that requires spotless focus. A splashy romance with a superstar 13 years older would have hijacked the narrative and turned every win into a sidebar. Chris knows what scrutiny feels like at a molecular level. He understands how a storyline can outgrow the music and become a cage. Going public would have fed a machine neither of them needed. Staying soft focus kept the art in front. But whispers will do what whispers do. People who swear they do not care still care. They refresh. They compare airport videos and venue exits. They chart the timing of posts. They hear a lyric and decide it is a breadcrumb. Maybe some of it is. Maybe none of it is. What matters is the through line. And the through line is connection. By every account that felt honest, they found an ease that is rare in a business that monetizes friction. They made each other better at their jobs. They made each other calmer in chaos. And they did it without turning themselves into a spectacle. Here is another angle that keeps the story sticky. We are watching an artist from Johannesburg thread a global current straight through the middle of mainstream R&B and pop. We are watching an American veteran with a long, complicated archive makeroom beside him for a new kind of star. There is mentorship there, yes, but there is also exchange. Tyla's cool minimalism nudges Chris toward texture. Chris's hurricane force nudges Tyla toward scale. The alchemy works, and it works without a press release spelling it out. Not everyone wants a soft story, though. Some want neat edges and hard receipts. They want a yes or a no, a kiss caught on video, a caption that reads "It is us." But the entertainment world is full of almosts and maybes that matter more than official labels. The most electric collaborations hover right at the line between personal and professional. They refuse to pick a side because the refusal is where the voltage lives. You cannot legislate that. You can only feel it. Think about the practical lessons tucked inside this. Tyla showed restraint that protects longevity. She did not let gossip become her genre. She let the winds stack. She kept the tone light and the focus heavy on craft. Chris showed a form of maturity people do not always credit him with. He pushed without smothering. He boosted without boasting. He put a younger artist in rooms where she could command space without feeling borrowed. That is not the messy headline the internet usually wants, but it is the quietly radical one the industry notices. Does that mean there were never sparks? I would not insult your intelligence. Sparks are half the reason we walk into rooms in the first place. Sparks are why we stay 5 more minutes. Sparks are why a veteran clears a schedule for a birthday night that was not on the calendar a week before. A spark does not define a relationship. It defines potential. What two people do with potential depends on timing, appetite, risk, and 1,000 private variables nobody on the timeline will ever see. And timing, more than anything, ruled this story. Tyla's ascent demanded clean lines. Chris's chapter demanded fewer fireworks outside the venue. So they wrote the quiet version. They wrote the respectful version. They wrote the version where the work leads and the rest dissolves into the white noise of maybe. If a day comes when the timing changes, when schedules align without stealing oxygen from the art, when private looks feel ready for public light, then maybe the story shifts. Maybe we wake up to a collaboration that feels inevitable. Maybe we wake up to a soft launch everyone pretends they did not see coming. Or maybe the richest version of this stays exactly what it has been so far, a connection that keeps its edges to itself and shows up in performance instead of posts. What keeps people holding this narrative is not scandal, it is resonance. We see two people modeling a boundary that leaves room for warmth. We see an intimacy that does not need to be announced to be felt. We see a mentorship that does not flatten into hierarchy. It is rare. It is oddly refreshing. It tells young artists there are ways to be close without burning bridges or branding each other. It tells audiences that not every question deserves an answer stamped in permanent ink. Some answers are better as a feeling you replay. So were they dating? Probably not in the neat way tabloids can print without qualifiers. Was there something there? Absolutely, and you can feel it in the negative space even if you never see a screenshot you can swear by. Could it become something more later? Never say never. Careers evolve, people grow, stories curve. If the universe nudges them into the same studio on the right night with the right song breathing through the speakers, anything can happen. And if it does not, the truth still stands. They met in a moment that asked for discipline, and they answered with it. They met in a moment that dangled easy headlines, and they chose harder focus. That choice is quietly rebellious. It is the kind of grown decision that does not trend for long and still changes everything. That is the tea, and it is the kind that does not spill. It simmers, it lingers, it perfumes the air around both of them without leaving a stain. You can chase a mess if you want to, but sometimes the absence of mess is the headline. Sometimes discipline is the drama. Sometimes the grown choice is the plot twist. If you felt it through the screen, you were not imagining it. You were catching the echo of a connection that did exactly what it needed to do in the moment it existed. And that, more than a label, is why people will keep talking. Because mystery behaves like music. It loops, it layers, it returns when you think it is finished. And every time it returns, it sounds a little different, like the beat learned something about you while you were not listening. So if this chapter stays quiet, it will not be because there was nothing there. It will be because there was something worth protecting. And if the chapter opens, it will be because the art asked for it, and the people who made it agreed. Either way, the story does not end. It simply changes keys and keeps moving forward with the same two truths we started with. Attraction is real, ambition is real. And when both live in the same room, the smartest people in it learn to turn the volume up and down without breaking the speakers. That is what we watched. That is what we felt. And that is why this will be remembered as more than a rumor, more than a denial, more than a tour. It will be remembered as a lesson in how to hold power without squeezing it. A lesson in how to show up without showing off. A lesson in how to leave a door unlocked even when you choose not to walk through it yet. For now, the music speaks louder than any caption could. And sometimes, that is the point.